live on YouTube as well. So, to everybody out there, hello, hola, konnichiwa, salam, ciao, namaste. Peace to all. This is the Pink Elephant in the Room conversation. This is episode 14, discussing about why it is not important to judge other people, why it's important to let people go on their journey of who they are. And for both the people on Periscope and the people on YouTube, if you have anything to add to this, do not hesitate, because I love to hear your thoughts, because we are one. This isn't just a discussion between me or the guest I bring on, but between all of us to understand ourselves further and growing who we are as a whole. And if you feel this resonates with you, don't hesitate to leave hearts on Periscope just by tapping your phone, and don't hesitate to leave likes on YouTube. And without any further ado, we're going to begin with why is it so important not to judge anybody. Let's just start with the why. The reason why it isn't personally important, give or take my observation of what I've noticed for other people around me, and my own experience of myself, is because we personally do not know the life of anyone on the planet. We don't know what they're going through. And we can say all we like, oh no, they're like this or that. But if you sit down with people and get to know them, then you'll get to know them. However, we have no right to really judge anyone on the planet. Period. I remember hearing from a loved one of mine who was discussing about a person making fun of someone because of what they were wearing. And she wasn't doing anything wrong. She was, of course, getting upset because of the other lady was making fun of her. And what you have to understand is, if you feel you need to hurt anyone else, what you see in others, you see in yourself. Period. If you need to tell someone how awful, how ridiculous they look or whatever, you see that within yourself. There were times where I did that to people. What I didn't realize was I didn't see that in myself. And later down the line, I had to observe that, and hence I had to change that. When you are seriously observing more so what you are saying to another person, you will change your perception of what people are like and how they do things. And the reason why it's important to let people go on their journey, no matter in a sense on if it has anything personally to do with you or if it doesn't, if it stresses you out being around that person or if it doesn't, if you just feel this way about a person or if you don't, you have to realize that you have to allow people to go on their journey, because you don't know where the course of action will go for them. Letting them go on their course. Many of us, for example, stress out about certain situations. Bills need to be paid. We need to do this. We need to take taxes. And oh my gosh, there are so many things going on. But what we don't realize is that if you say you desire not to stress out, then what you need to realize is, by observation, that you need to let the life take its course. And for the same person, since you do not know them personally, and it doesn't matter if you're with a group or anything, personally, I would say drop that group. If you feel you need to make fun of somebody, it does not help the whole to make fun of somebody or hurt somebody else, because all it does is hurt yourself. Letting people go on their journey and progressing to who they are is what will help them grow. When you are being conniving or calling them names due to all sorts of ideologies of race, sex, religion, and so on and so forth, What you have to recognize is you know nothing about that person. Even if you did know something about that person, you still have to realize how important it is to let somebody go on their own journey. That the journey of whoever is out there, period, no matter who they are, is important. Because think of it like this, in a sense. If you were in their shoes, would you treat yourself that way if you were in their shoes? Even if you don't know, but you have to think to yourself, I don't know what they're going through. I don't know how their life is. I don't know why they act this way. But if I were them, it might be in my best interest to be more kind and realize your highest form of who you are is love. Love is who you truly are. And being love means to show that kindness to other people no matter the circumstances or not, since you don't know who they are. You don't know what they've been through, or so on and so forth. Whether you know them or not, you may know somebody, and you may not even realize there might be things that they don't even tell you. Or even if they do tell you, you may not realize that you have to think of it from a different perspective of, what would it be like if I was in their shoes? If I was them and put in their place. So, how exactly can you go about changing this? You can simply change this by, of course, realizing, first of all, realizing that no one on the planet has the right to be judged, and no one has the right to judge you. And of course, there are going to be all sorts of people who are going to judge you. There are going to be all sorts of things going on one way or another. But by being the example, you can't do this. You can only be who you desire to be out in the planet. When you are being who you are, by deciding how would you act if you were being this person, if you were being your love, if you were being non-judgmental, how would you act? Try it out. And what I have for people out there, you can say it on Periscope if you like. You can say it on YouTube. How would you act if you were non-judgmental? Because I really want to hear your thoughts on that. But what I'm going to say a part of this is that on top of that, taking time to yourself to seriously understand your thought process of why you think the way you think, or better yet, to ask yourself, is this who I am at this point in time? By being who you are at this point in time, there is always going to be a consequence to everything. And we will be talking about that. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about that, or maybe in a different discussion. The consequences to each action, period, no matter what you do. But you have to observe, is this who you are? Is this who you are making fun of this homeless person, calling them trash? Is this who you are making fun of that person because of what they're wearing? Is this who you are making fun of someone for the color of their skin? Is this who you are bullying someone at a school? Is this who you are hating someone for years because maybe they did something? Is this who you are? Take time to meditate and not complicate who you are as a person, and see who you really are, and not what people tell you you are. Why? We've discussed why and how. Now let's discuss simply what's so important about this. What's important about this is the factor that life would go very easy for most people when you are unjudgmental. And it could be a group, it could be anybody. But by being the example, And taking the time to do that, you could change someone's thoughts about a situation because you're being the example of being non-judgmental, and you could change someone else, and so on and so forth. The importance of this is that it can create a massive change of thought process, that we don't know anyone out there in the world. We don't know their lives. We don't know who they are. But what you can know about anyone is simply, like I always state, that you are all, period. You're beautiful, you're amazing, you're divine. Express that out to people. Show them. And see the perfection in everything. See the perfection and beauty in everybody. And everything you see before you. Even in the darkest moments, you will see the light. Even when things may not seem so easy. They can only grow when you see the perfection of who you are. And seeing the God, the goddess, and the creator within. So to everybody out there, have a good morning, have a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. Namaste.